Hello and welcome back. It's me, Alderia, back here once again with Rhodes. And I mean, what is there to talk about with Lotus other than don't don't take Boba to Lotus? I mean, I think that's all we really have to say, right?
I mean, that was a explosive and dominant performance for Boba. I mean, Colo just completely dismantling everything RME was trying to do. And I mean, something we didn't really talk about was Clay's. He actually found four first bloods and didn't die first a single time. Was actually able to open up rounds. I feel like we weren't able to talk about it much because we weren't seeing the potential with him just not putting up the high kill counts that we're used to.
And I mean, also Fossey saying that he didn't even really feel warmed up for that match. That does not bode well for RME. Uh, I mean,
Definitely. I
if
mean,
go ahead.
I mean, we know what Fossey can do. Fossey is a destroyer of worlds, and I'm really interested to see if he's warmed up now.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this: we know who is warmed up. Colo, absolutely lights out performance. I think ended what 24 and 8.
Yep.
That was just insane. And I mean, we even got to talk to Fossey about it a little bit. Possibly, we might see a little bit more of Colo, which I'm all for if it means we see a stronger Boba.
Yeah, definitely. And aside that, I want to see a stronger of is RME. I mean, we didn't see too much of their attack on the side of Lotus, so I'm really interested to see if they have it figured out on split or not. As it looks like they're going to be heading up through, and Nemesis going for a quick early play. Polo finding the first Rudy as it looks like they're going to get a free plant site on the side of RME, and everyone's playing towards the heaven side, so Nemesis might find a pick. Giga takes down Fufu, and Clay's actually gets a pick on Nemesis with the snake bite. And it's going to be a 4-on-3 retake, but we do have Gigaberry on the flank. This could be really scary for the side of Boba as they push in. Looks like they get the elbow, plays, and Jigglypuff finds one, Mr. Seed finds two, but I mean, Gigaberry versus Tofu on the last on-site. Tofu might just half it, and he does as Gigaberry looks for the swing pick and can't find Tofu as he picks up the round for Boba, and they start off strong once again. And yeah, I mean, what a round for them.
Standing in between us and victory.
I mean, I'm getting called right now from my observer to say the second round curse to potentially give RME a chance as Gigaberry so close to giving them the round, but Tofu just very a strategic and very strong player to play on site. As it looks like RME is gonna set up mid with all the pings coming. They want to go for a potential B split. And I mean, you never know. We only have one sheriff on the side of Gigaberry, so this could be really scary for Boba if they decide to push it, and they are.
Yeah, RME trying to punch up through mail, but Clay is able to clean up those 2 kills inside of mid. Mr. C managing to get one back, but all seems to be well so far for Boba. Only the judge lost, and even actually the judge gets juggled back to elevator as well.
Yeah, that was a really
it's not
good
elevator.
judge.
Oh my goodness.
That was a really good judge play to get those 2 picks, and it does feel like Army might be screwed here to try and get the second round conversion, as it's really dicey. I think we finally broke the curse and teams can finally play normal again.
Okay, we can't say that until the end of the series because we might curse ourselves once again. But I mean, yeah, a great conversion once again for Boba. And
what a trip.
Yeah, great trip from Fufu. I believe that was even, if I remember correctly, that was deployed in the mid round as well, wasn't it? I think it was reapplied possibly.
Potentially, as they look to get one, but can't even do that as Colo has really good picks. And yeah, that might have been a trip deploying the mid round that they just didn't shoot, but either way, Fufu just, I mean, that trip did just straight up win them the round. They couldn't do anything up mid.
Yeah, and so now we're looking into the bonus once again of Boba. The last time they had this, it was actually fairly close. was, I believe, only 2 alive on the side of RME, which just means that RME didn't have a great buy going into next, which set up the economy for Boba really well, and then set up the ultimate economy even further as well. I mean, we saw Boba be able to spiral the ultimates really hard. Bit of a lazy clear there from Nemesis, which is going to let Colo get 2 on this Omen. Fossey traded back, but this is not the way you want to start out your first buy round for RME.
And it's on the side of Nemesis and Rudy again. They're just not able to find anything as they get picked off by Colo. Just teleports into the corner and just peeks 2 and gets them both. It does feel like for RME, they're really looking for these guys to be able to do something, but Colo is just denying them every step of the way with the no armor Phantom.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, Nemesis trying to get really aggressive there, Rudy as well, but to no avail, and even a bit of a, like I said, a lazy clear there. Just, that is brutal to see, as Colo might even be looking for some more, as peeking back towards this ramp position, forced back, but Gigaberry manages to pick up Fufu. Clay's aggressing up. Ven is going to get 1. Neurotheft coming in, but Clay's is good for another one inside of Vent, holding so strong here. And so now it is all left up to CeeLo, who can't manage against Colo, and this is a bonus round win for Boba.
Can someone check Colo's PC? Because, again, just completely dismantling RME on everything they want to do. And let's not discount Clay's as well. Able to find that lurky up Vents pick, and then able to find Gigaberry on the lurk as well. And RME is back to being down by a deficit, and they're back onto another eco, which makes it really scary as they try and push into Fufu's trips on B.
Yeah, I mean, just such great stability there from Clays to be able to get 2 inside of the vent position. A great push up, and then so ready for the aggression out of mid by Gigaberry. So great heads up awareness, and just a fantastic round to seal that bonus. As now it's looking pretty bad for RME. Going for a Hail Mary play with double satchel. Nemesis once again going to be taken out, this time by Jiggly Tofu. And this attack has been fully stifled by the defense.
I mean, Fufu with the trips again just gives Tofu an easy kill so far. Clean on the desk, nothing found for RME. And Nemesis is the first one to get picked off again. It's your main contributors that aren't able to perform, and I mean, Boba is consistently outplaying them and being able to find them to make RME feel kind of unsteady, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, even like you said, the trip placements is also amazing from Fufu. So I want to say that it's reads, but no, it's just the trips, the utility is scattered across the map. Fufu good for 1, not even able to be cleaned up despite being fully blinded. And so now this might be a flawless round as Clays looks to aggress out the smoke off the paranoia, so perfectly timed. And Boba is looking so strong right now.
If you're Gigaberry, you want that kill just for confidence, and just not able to find it. As I mean, a great team play from Colo with the last paranoia kill. Yes, it was on an eco, but you can just see the team play so far with Boba, which I feel like we didn't really see much of when they versed Honeydew. I felt like it was more solo performances that were making them all win. Yes, Colo has been absolutely stellar so far in this series, but I feel like we're seeing a lot more team play for the reasons they're winning these rounds.
Yeah, and I mean, you were talking about the confidence just to get those a kill or 2 there, but even further, it feels like it just sort of, I don't know about you, but I feel like it would almost affect my mental if I was in a 1v5 on an eco and I get paranoia swung by that. I mean, that I just feel like that would sort of get to me, you know? Feels a bit overkill almost.
Looks like we have a 4v4, and I mean, the bomb is mid, so they have B site, but the bomb is nowhere near as we got teleport from Colo in garage.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, like you said, that teleport from Colo is going to clean up CeeLo. Nemesis keeping this at least competitive at a 3v3, cleans up his rival in that of Fossey. Colo is going to continue to be such a lurking presence and a What a double swing from Colo and Julie Tofu. Perfect timing on that pinch. Don't know if Clays will be ready for Gigaberry and isn't quite ready for that gunfight. So Gigaberry is going to manage to clean one up. One confirmed to be at CT, so it's going to be a double clear, just stacking up and trying to go for this retake quickly. Paranoia will be spent to just guarantee that CT position, and that's just going to allow RME to rotate all the way back to site and ramp to hold this. They're playing for the time. Oh no, do we have a disconnect from Rudy? Oh, it looked like it was a disconnect from Rudy, but able to get around the corner just in time. Gigaberry has to hold strong here, and he's not able to get a single one. It is planted for Rudy, and Paranoia will go out. So should be able to confirm this round as the double spray through the smoke comes through, and we've got our first round here for RME.
That looked a bit scary for a second. I thought the Rudy flank would go a bit too slow, but are able to find both picks in the smoke and shut down the round for the side of Boba. And let's not discount what Nemesis did on site, which is able to pull them far enough so Giga could get all the way up into through screens into the defender site spawn, and which I think overall was able to win that round that way.
Yeah, I mean, finally a plan goes the way it's drawn up for RME. So hopefully it's going to inspire a little bit of confidence to their fraggers and also their IGL, who needs to try and continue to piece together these rounds. Their economy is still fragile, so anything could break them here, it feels like.
Yeah, the economy's still on the side of Boba. Fufu looking for a pick and does in the one way and finds two on Mr. Seed Nemesis.
And he even throws out the Neuro Theft, trying to clean up CeeLo and gonna get a lot of damage for it. CeeLo put down so low here. Rudy aggressing, but Fossy's gonna take out Gigaberry right behind him, so this is now just such a rough situation. Both your players are incredibly low. Fake of a little bit of noise towards B to keep these defenders in position, but it's so well read by Colo, holding strong. So it's all left up to CeeLo, and it feels like she will have absolutely no say in this round.
Yeah, I mean, could pick up Fufu here. It is super low and does. And I mean, it's a 1v3. Unless we see a performance like Waffle did on Haven in our last match, this is rough.
I mean, even this is a bit above that, right? Waffles was at least a 1v3 and had some HP to work with, but CeeLo position noted, solo HP, and it's going to be another timeout called out by Rudyrojos.
I mean, they tried to attack B again, but like we pointed out before, Fufu just has a one-way on it and has trips galore. I mean, one trip and usually plays one mid, but Fufu just finding these easy picks, doesn't really care, has 7 assists on the game as a Cypher, and I feel like they're just really struggling to go anywhere but A.
Can I request our observer to go back to, I believe it was Gigaberry real quick? Ah, the spray faded. There was a spray that I felt perfectly encapsulated the state that RME is in. It was a bit of a rolling of the eyes, seeming a bit fatigued. Not fatigued, but just tired. It feels like there's just not much life in these hits.
Yeah, definitely. And it at the same time, it feels like Boba is the one that's just completely taking it out every round, being able to find a first blood or so almost every round, just completely negating what RME wants to do on it. And it feels like we saw that last time against Honeydew, and now we're seeing it again against RME. And I mean, we are on the Boba map pick, and I mean, they're showing why.
I mean, let's be honest. Boba got 2 map picks in this matchup, right? Being taken to Lotus. Yeah, being taken to Lotus, they're so confident. We know that they're definitely able to put up a lot of fight on Haven. We don't quite know the extent of the dominance that Boba has on Haven. Is that? No, that was from. No, I don't think that was from Colo. I think that was a missed aftershock from the attackers, maybe.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah, I mean, that just does not look good for the side of RME. If what seems like, I'm guessing, was going towards vents, just completely misses the mark, and do manage to get the opening pick here onto Clays, but still weaker weaponry as Fufo is just going to lurk through and clean up Gigaberry.
He heard all of that, so he knows they're going B as the Nightfall hits down too, and they get a free sight, but it is a 4v4, and they only have one gun with Nemesis.
I mean, even the repositioning of the tripwires from Fufo, that one put a little bit deeper into the site to cover the push-up. Oh, what a push, though, from Rudyrojos as Bucky is going to claim their life of Fufo. Colo able to trade one back, so it's even man count, but it just keeps going back and forth as CeeLo gets one as well. Nemesis picking up another, so now Showstopper available. It's all up to Nemesis to close this out. Fossey, who has not been super strong on split thus far, is going to throw out the paint shells and even dodge the ultimate there, but cleaned up by Nemesis at the very end. And so now it's a second round here and a breath of life from RME.
Yeah, they pick up 2 rounds on the half now as, I mean, Nemesis, 21 HP in the Dream against Fossey. Fossey, they said they're done their warm-up, but it feels like they're still asleep as Nemesis is able to secure that round with some really good plays with the no armor Phantom and just completely won that round for the side of RME.
I don't know if you could hear it, but I just repositioned in my chair and absolutely kicked my desk with my toe. Ow.
I heard some noise.
That did not feel good, but hopefully RME feeling a little bit better after at least being able to win out that round. So they're going to continue to try and apply this pressure inside of mid. So we're going to be looking a lot at Fufo and Clay's. Even the Viper's Pit popped, so it's going to be forced up through Mail, which is right into Fufo. And this Viper's Pit covers so much. Fufo's able to just fight on the edge of the smoke. Rudy manages to trade it back, but this is a 4v4, so now it's all going to come down to a B split. Nemesis blinded out. Tofu gets one more, so it's kept at a 3v3, and it should be a post-plant situation for RME. Finally managing to get a little bit of distance here on split. Colo finding one, but it's traded back once again. This is so back and forth from these teams right now.
Yeah, Colo went for a very aggressive pick, did get it, but got traded out instantly as Gigaberry and Nemesis back to a 2-on-2. And we've seen both these sides do this already as Fossey. He knows where Nemesis is going to play. The question is, do they know Gigaberry as he picks up one on the Fossey?
Yeah, great lurk there from Gigaberry, and even heard Clay's drop, so knowing that they just killed the alley player, this is going to set them up for a great crossfire to play on the site. Clay's is cleaned up, and this is 3 rounds now for the side of RME.
What a messy round. A pick going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, I think every pick besides the last 4 just went at 1 second each. And, I mean, I think RME will take that every time of the way as Nemesis able to secure that site. Was bottom fragging before and now doing quite well.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't matter how hectic, doesn't matter how close, a win is a win. That has got to be the mindset that you're going into split with how devastating Lotus was. You don't want to you're not looking to replicate what was done on Lotus by the side of Boba. You're looking to just win. It does not matter how it happens.
Yeah, definitely. As it both of the economy is around a standstill now. As it's about the same. As it looks like you're gonna be rushing Tofu as a Rolling Thunder does come out.
I mean, this round could certainly determine a lot, and even through the Rolling Thunder, it's still going to be RME managing to find 2 kills. Colo manages to get 1 back, but forward position here from Nemesis, I don't think it'll be expected, especially as Mr. C takes out Colo. So now the Heaven position is completely under terror, and Nemesis collects Fossey, so this is surely going to be another round picked up here by RME.
Yeah, definitely. That Rolling Thunder was huge for that, as I don't think Clay's is going to be able to do anything here. It's going to be a save. And, I mean, RME, they just forced Boba onto Eco, and now this game could be tied up in a matter of minutes, because they're going to be on Eco. Unless they throw it, it's going to be 5-5.
Is this the first Eco for Boba? Because they forced every round after
yeah,
in the
I believe
second
so.
half. This is the first. We are on map 2, and we are seeing the first eco from Boba, I believe. So that's
it's
interesting.
I mean, it's really nice to see. It gives RME at least a confidence booster because now they have the economy advantage after Boba for so many rounds had thousands of dollars over them, and now they're stuck back to square one. They could buy some stuff, but it looks like Jiggly Tofu's gonna throw a timeout here, and they're gonna discuss how we're gonna come back from this.
I really, really like this timeout, and here's why. This could be a very winnable round here for Boba. They have 3 ultimates up. Granted, 2 of them a bit lower impact in the hands of Colo and Fufu, but if Fossey can find something with this showstopper, and even if Fufu is there to get the neural theft off as well, that gives them a lot of information to work with. So this is a salvageable round here, even though it's an eco.
I mean, we've seen them do it before. Last match on Lotus, I believe they got 2 thrifties or so. Uh, they're able to do it against them, and Fossey, we know what to expect. We know high impact games. Yes, they haven't been able to find it so far in this series, but I believe once he gets turned on, he's going to go full missile at everyone and completely take down this game. So I think Army has done a really good job at suppressing that, but this could be a really good round for Fossey to open things up once again.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen a ton from Fossey so far in map 1. 13 and 10, that's fine. Like not bad by any stretch of the imagination, especially in a 13-4 victory. You're not really looking too much at your stats of every single player. But I mean, the mid stack coming out here, and Colo is going to be the interesting person to watch, but it's just a full cleanup here by RME. Not even the ultimate's able to be used here, so this Clay's wrestling one back with the Phantom. It's going to have to be like a 1v5 or something here from Clay's.
That paranoia is going to make it hurt even more. I mean, Rudyrojos secures the pick by teleporting, killing himself.
Yeah, I mean, very selfless play there from Rojo. I'm well played enough by Clays. Not much you can do in that situation, right? Super well played by RME. That is the cohesion and the confidence that I feel like we've been lacking a lot from RME. Maybe finally finding their stride in this match.
Yeah, definitely. As I believe it was a bit of a force for Boba, so they're going to be put back down on their money. I think they're only going to be able to get 3 guns next round, which, unless they force again, it might be a bit rough, as Fufu does find 1. He finds 2.
Hold up. Fufu's gotten 2, and all of a sudden this is winnable. The aftershock goes out, and the spam lands just a little bit, but half has been gone on the spike. So Fufu swinging out of the smoke, almost cleans up Mr. Seed, but stays alive and manages to secure this 5th round here. Way closer than it ever should have been for RME, but I said a win is a win no matter how you get it.
You said it exactly right. A win is a win. Mr. Seed will take that every time of day. But Fufu, we know he can do it. We know he does these little crazy things that can happen in a round. But, I mean, they secured it with Mr. Seed just dropping down. It was close, but they keep the economy in their favor as we get another gun round. Only 1 half armor on the side of Boba, so this is going to be a very interesting thing to decide this half.
Yeah, and I mean, they're going to once again just keep applying this pressure to mid. It's been working out for them decently enough, but Mr. Seed finally going to be punished for this aggression, but it's traded back by Rudyrojos. 2 players down out the gate. Clay's player that we're expecting a lot of impact from is removed from this round, so now it's going to all come down to Colo and Fossey, 2 of the star players. Fossey manages to secure 1, and Tofu even on the wraparound manages to get 1, and I don't know if the position of Colo is noted, as he's going to manage to pick up 1 more kill on ramp, and it is all left up to Nemesis. The Seekers are out as well, so this is just going to clean up the round, and it is 6 here for Boba on a bounce back.
I mean, it was looking so good for RME. They had a nice nightfall. It hit Colo, which put him off of heaven. But Jiggly Tofu able to find 1, and then RME trying to push through window, and Colo says no, and then finds a pick on ramps as well to just completely obliterate what RME wanted to do. Now we're back to everyone having guns again for the most part, and Clay's gonna probably sit in vents with a judge. This could be really scary for RME, as they could lose this half, but I mean, both teams have guns, so who knows?
I mean, actually, the last time we saw Clays with this judge, it was on their force buy. He's just aggressed inside of the smoke. Looks like he went for the same play, but it was read here by RME. So punished completely, as it's going to be 2 kills and even a paranoia to apply pressure to Heaven. There is a lot of pace to this round, and so it's going to be a free B site. Gigaberry even picking up Colo, and so now this round, it's going to be a 6-6 half unless we see some massive heroics from either Fossey or Jiggly Tofu.
I mean, Fossey still has the showstopper. I don't believe has used it once. I don't know. Oh, he does drop it now.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fossey's been holding on to this for so long, but immediately shut down by Rudy. And Ecstatic, our observer, is getting a vocal. You can't hear him, but it feels like he got hit with that shorty, as we're gonna wrap up this half at 6-6.
This, I think, is best case scenario for the side of RME. They just went 6-6 on split, a known defender-sided map, and they were able to come back from a 5-1, which I don't think they were expecting at the start. I think that they were kind of checked out, but it did feel like that Boba kind of lost themselves. They played very slowly and methodically when they were up 5-1. And that feels like they kept going for these aggressive plays, kind of like fighting into RME, which RME loves to do. And I think RME were just able to outplay them and win these rounds.
And all of a sudden, if you are RME, you're looking to now confirm this defensive-sided map. Granted, I do believe it's a little, statistically speaking, it's a little bit less defender-sided after its rework, but I mean, still, it's a map that lends itself to a lot of plays like what Rudy just did, pushing inside of his own smoke to secure a shorty kill. Fossey pushing up aggressively up this ramp, but now is going to be flashed out, and it's just going to be a pinch in. Actually, not the kill not secured. Mr. Seed's going to go down to Clays, but Fossey and Clays tagged up a little bit. And Rudy is still just laying in wait inside of the smoke. It's going to fade out, but he's got another one refreshing up soon. And CeeLo, she's going to pick up one more onto Fossey through the smoke. So now this is really, really bad for Boba. You're in a 2v4. One of your players is fairly low. Pain Shell's even going to come out and possibly clear out some of these angles. Tagged up a little bit as Tofu, and it's just going to be cleaned up here. A pistol round for RME to start out the defensive half.
That round got all started with what I wanted to see happen at the start of this series that I feel like we're not getting to see until now. Rudyrojos, aggressive smoke with a shorty, just completely picks apart what Boba wanted to do, and then they're a bit scared. They tried to push up ramp, but they were met with people there as well. And Mr. Seed wasn't able to find the pick onto Clays, but it just didn't matter as they just able to overwhelm them and beat them in the 5v4.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a chance for the curse to strike once again, but this is looking pretty good for RME.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot harder for the curse to go on split as Gaybear with a jump peek. I mean, I don't know if he's going to call everyone over, but this is going to be really hard for Fufu to do anything on this site.
Cage triggered.
Yeah, just trying to lurk forward, but also might not even be ready for the cage position. Giga or the tripwire position rather. With that, Giga is able to play just tucked into Alley, holding the wide swing around pillar. But eventually that tripwire is cleared out. Fufu manages to get one, but it's traded back by CeeLo. And these kills are just starting to pour in for RME. Only one player left inside of mid. It's Fossey. And I believe this is all she wrote. Oh, actually securing one more kill and able to sneak out through the smoke as well. This still feels so impossible for Fossey. Only half HP in a classic is actually tagged through the wall by the marshal. It's going to be brought even lower.
Yeah, it doesn't have a gun either. Fossey's just staring at the end of a barrel as 2 guns that will just pew pew pew. And yeah, this high-low is pretty screwed here. I don't think Fossey can do anything. Just has to keep going back and forth. Maybe waste all their ammo. Maybe there's a chance, but only with 10 seconds left, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to matter at all. Fossey eventually cleaned up by CeeLo, and so now it is 8 rounds here for RME.
Who would have thought that this game would be down 5-1 and then they just completely turn it on its head and make it 8-6? That's the beauty of this game, that anything can happen. This is why in your ranked games, don't forfeit when it's 5-1 that you do every single time, people. Like, stop. This
Feels a
could
bit
happen
motivated,
and you could
Rhodes.
win.
Has something happened recently?
We don't talk about it. It's only happened like every game.
We've all been there, man. It's rough.
So it looks like we got a, well, I mean, we got two guard. Well, obviously we have a force coming out, of course, and it looks like RME only have two really decent weapons for this defense, but they could find stuff. They've been really good with these guardians, so I'm really interested to see if Boba can find something.
Yeah, I mean, this is just. I'm not sure exactly what the plan for initiation here is for Boba. We usually see such a organized and calculated attack from them, but it's felt a bit scattered so far. A little bit of contact towards ramp, but actually Clay's is just gonna lose this fight against Rudy. Just continuously taking these dry peaks. That's what I mean by it. Just feels a little bit lost here for Boba almost. Rudy aggressing even more to this ramp position. Fossey able to trade it back, so perhaps we could finally see Fossey waking up. And if we see that, it'll be even harder for RME to keep this up. Colo, though, going to continue this strong performance as he picks up CeeLo. Now it means a site will be taken. Yeah, Fossey is able to clean up Giga Berry, and this should be a clean round for Boba. Nemesis possibly picking up another here. Yep, equal 2. If you're Boba here, you don't want to lose more than 3. That's going to cause a lot of economy damage if you lose more than 3 players.
Yeah, definitely. It's a 3v1. I mean, Nemesis does have full half shield. Fossey could find him, but I just don't see Nemesis win this round with how good Boba has for the positioning.
Yeah, I don't see Nemesis winning it, but possibly trying to get a little bit of extra damage. But Fossey, not going to let that happen, as it's going to be the bonus avoided by Boba.
Definitely is. It looks. Ooh, Rudyrojos looking to pick up that op. We know how aggressive he is, and this could be really deadly for them. And I do want to highlight Fossey last round. Hasn't had the best couple of games so far, but able to pick off Rudyrojos at the start of it as Clay's lost his 1v1. So, I mean, Fossey, we know how confident he is. He just took it and won it, and then was just able to open up the round through Heaven, which I think was really good to be able to pick up the bonus.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a pretty great bounce back so far, and we even saw Rudy not necessarily get success with the op, but I believe was able to pick up 2 kills in a round with it, so perhaps on a map where the whole team is performing a little bit better, we'll see some more out of it. But Fossey, too good for that. He's able to pick up Rudyrojos, so this is now a man advantage for Boba as they look to bounce back from a great streak from RME. Nemesis, though, doesn't want that to happen, so this man count is kept even.
That is definitely a blow to Boba. We know how strong Colo is and how good of a contributor he is to this attack and just team for Boba, as Gigaberry and Fufu. Gigaberry wins it.
Yeah, that was such an interesting engagement from the two. Just some timings going a bit odd, and both of them trying to bait out a shot from each other, but Gigaberry able to just hit the headshot. So now this leaves a lot of weight on the shoulders of the rest of Boba. Fossey is going to be the person I'm looking at to make the difference this round, as one of your best players in this series in that of Colo is out. So we need Fossey to start stepping up here on these first engagements.
Nemesis has a really big lurk timing here. This could be huge.
What a cleanup from Nemesis. The double headshot. Clay's trades it back, but thrust into the 1v3. And with low time, surely we will be seeing RME securing their 9th round here, as they're just going to be rushing in through elbow. Clay's at 30 HP and not able to even get 1 kill. It's going to be 8. It's going to be this close match, or it's going to be 9 rather, and this close match is starting to slip away from Boba.
I think this is, unironically, one of our closest matches we've seen so far. Yes, the match with Boba and Honeydew, obviously, was a very, very close match going to overtime. But I feel like we're seeing a lot of blows traded back and forth in this match. But RME is just so far taking the best of it and are able to potentially make their lead even more, as Boba are back onto an eco with only 1 rifle, it looks like.
I mean, yeah, we know that they can make some crazy things happen with an eco, but so far RME have been looking extremely strong on split, which is odd considering it is the map pick of Boba. Showstopper popped out early here, and so that's going to apply a lot of pressure onto Fossey. Paintshell's even trying to secure more damage, but it's actually Gigaberry to pick up 2 kills. That's Fufo and Colo off the board. Fossey not even able to punish Nemesis on the reposition. So in terms of picks, that's best case scenario for RME. You took out 2 solid players, and you're able to just fall back to these comfortable positions.
Yeah, RME, I don't see how they lose this. They also have Rudy just walking up with a shorty as Giga picks up another, looking for a potential spam ace. And it's looking really, really hard for Boba in this round. I think it's the 10th round for the side of RME. Fossey does find Nemesis, but it's still a 4v2 against a team that is completely surrounding you.
Yeah, I mean, 4v2, a good shot and all, but even your players are also low. You're going to have to make noise to pick up this Vandal, and gonna have to do it. So CeeLo just tossing out these Prowlers to stall out this attack even more. That buys some time for Mr. Seed, but all of a sudden Fossey's hitting shots. Not gonna matter though, as Rudyrojos cleans it up with the shorty. That is a 10th for the side of RME here.
I mean, that spam from Gigaberry at the start of the round, managing to pick up Colo and Fufu, 2 guys that, like you mentioned, have a very good performance for this team and are able to find these nice picks. And when you take out players like that, it feels like RME are in the driver's seat. We do have a showstopper for the side of Fossey, and I feel like Fossey is going to want to use it on this buy round to try to salvage what lead they've lost so far.
Yeah, I believe we saw Fossey holding on to the showstopper for a very long time in the last half, so I don't want to see that again. I want to see Fossey just taking the initiative with it.
Yeah, definitely, as it looks like we have a Gigaberry on site. Could find a timing on the Fossey.
Yeah, Gigaberry just holding strong in the site. Only good for 1 though. Colo and Nemesis are going to trade blows. Colo comes out on top, but not before Nemesis is able to secure 1 more kill. So this is kept even at a 3v3. Rudyrojos rotating into Heaven here, but Colo starting to get this lurk up towards Heaven. I don't know if this is going to be expected. Just playing towards screen here and going to be able to possibly collect a free kill, but no! The whiff shot, so Mr. Seed is able to pick it up, and Rudy gets 1 more, so it's now Clay's in a 1v3. Fault line comes in, stunning him up, and so it's a beautiful retake here from RME.
Oh, I wonder what happened to Colo there. It looked like they might have lagged or something, as the shots just didn't go their way, as the Mr. Seed showstopper, we know how good he's been with it, and he just secures that round for RME, able to find the easy picks as everyone besides Colo's on site. And I mean, we're just seeing really good team play. Remember what I said before about how good Boba's team play has been? It feels like it's been the exact opposite after I said that, which means I'm just cursing people.
Yeah, and I mean, just a bit of an uncharacteristic whiff there from Colo. It happens to everybody, but we've just seen Colo be so strong throughout this match, and really unfortunate. Also, Fossey not popping the showstopper despite still double satcheling into sight. I'm really not liking Fossey's hesitance on the showstopper. Again, just opting for these dry swings, and that paint shell is actually going to do a lot of damage. Fufo manages to get 1, but it's kept even. Fufo is trying to be the difference maker in this round. Healed up by this guy, and even pops the Neuro Theft. Fossey getting aggressive through the cage. Gigaberry gets 1, but Fufo trades it back. And so now, finally, Boba is starting to find their footing in this round. Seekers popped as well, just to confirm the positions of the players. So they're both confirmed to be towards Heaven. It's CeeLo and Rudy. This retake, and it's looking really rough as Colo flanking up through Heaven should be able to find both of these kills. At least finds 1. Fufo cleans up the last, and we're still in this.
Yeah, this game is far from over. This could go to overtime, and we know how long overtimes can go if Boba is a part of it, as they won 18-6 on Haven a few days ago. And I mean, we could see the same thing. We're seeing blow after blow, and Rudyrojos is actually picking up the operator again. I mean, it didn't work out last time as Fossey was able to find the pick, which I do want to mention again. Fossey yet to use showstopper.
Yeah, Rudyrojos deciding to set up in a bit of a different position. He's going to be taking contact with Clays here. Viper Wall is put up, so I'm interested to see how that's going to go. But a lot of the attention is actually going to be on this B site instead. Trailblazer's going to go out to take out one of those tripwires, but Fossey's still caught by one, so CeeLo is going to get the easiest kill of her life. Mr. Seed picking up another one as well. It's all up to Colo here. So he finds one tagged up in the back of the site, though, low HP. CeeLo cleans it up, and Nemesis comes in to add the cherry on top, as it's the lurk player of Clays left all alone in a 1v3 situation.
And I'm pretty sure Nemesis heard him, or he just knows he's in nowhere, as Clay's not gonna expect him at all, but does apparently. Okay, never mind me. He gets one, and this is actually doable. He has 50 seconds to work with, and CeeLo is hurt, so this could be really interesting.
CeeLo's super low. They know the position, but not quite able to get that spam onto CeeLo. The Snakeback is going to force CeeLo's position. That allows them to isolate the fight. Clays now brings it down to a 1v1, but so much util sometimes by Seed. But wait, he manages to dodge it, and now Clays has gotten so much damage down. This is winnable. Swapping to the classic Clays back turn. It's going to come down to these timings. What a positioning from Seed, but Clays manages to pick it up. 1v3, a 4K on the round, and Clays brings 9 to Boba.
Clays almost did it before, but Mr. Seed stopped him. But this time, Clays is able to win the 1v3 or 1v4, whatever it was, it doesn't matter. Clays with a 4K clutch, and that is what we know that Clays can do. Hasn't shown it as much so far in the series, but we know they're such a good player if they're given the space. And that just forced RME onto an eco, so this could go to 11-10 real fast.
Yeah, I mean, that is devastating to lose for the side of RME. And now that even forces them onto the eco here, so this should be a clean 10th unless we see something absolutely crazy. Boba with a great bounce back, and the showstopper even popped by Fossey. They really want to secure this round. They get all of the site. Clays on the lurk is going to manage to pick up Rudyrojos. And so now 4v5 in the retake. This is looking great for Boba.
Well, it's looking even better as Colo and Jiggly Tofu pick off again, and it looks like Seed might... Ooh, great right click as CeeLo can't find Clays, and it's to a 1v3 on the other side for Mr. Seed. Always last alive for RME. Can they find what Clays just did?
Yeah, no armor, but does have a Vandal here. Pinched in on multiple sides, but he's going to get the first one onto Fossey. So now it's all that's left is to deal with this crossfire. One in backside and one towards garage. Cleaned up by Jiggly Tofu. We are not going to say the same heroics that we saw in the last round for the side of RME.
And we get a timeout for RME. Rudyrojos is going to call it in as they're going to look for some sort of play here. I assume that they're going to be calling this Rolling Thunder on the site right when they give the plant over to the side of Boba. But I'm really excited to see, or not really excited, I really like to see Mr. Seed on how he plays. He likes to play slow but methodically, and is able to get these good picks without like causing too much attention to himself. And it's been really interesting to watch. Hasn't had the highest pressure, but I think he's just played a pretty decent game so far.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, so you were mentioning that the Rolling Thunder might be coming out for the retake, but honestly, if you're RME, I don't want to see that personally. We've seen Boba Balls at their most comfortable when they're in a situation, when they're in a post-plant situation. It feels so hard to win rounds against them, even if you have the ultimates rolling through. And honestly, where we've been seeing RME at their strongest is when they're disrupting the plant or holding strong on the site instead. I mean, looking at the round that they almost won before the devastating 1v3 of Clays, they flooded in before the plant could even go down, and they were able to completely stifle the attack. Yes, you lost that round, but the framework is there for what can work as long as you don't give away a 1v3 situation.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, all the ults are on the side of RME. Yes, some are less useful than others, but it could be really difficult for the side of Boba to get on these sites, as Rudyrojos with another aggressive peek on the Clays, and these guys have been going back and forth all game, and Rudy takes the best of it now.
Yeah, and I mean, even pretty close stat line wise as well. So these two players definitely contesting each other and butting heads a lot right now. Got Nemesis set up watching towards mid, and this is just called completely silent by Boba because they're just waiting to be set up in positions to assist this B push as a utility is going to start coming up. Fosse here on the first engagement, a player we keep wanting to step up, but it continues to elude him. He's now stuck in the back of the site, and two of his teammates are going to go down to CeeLo and Nemesis. So now this is dire situation as the Rolling Thunder even comes through. It is all up to Fosse in a 1v5, and surely this isn't going to be able to be winnable. Gets one onto Gigaberry, then return the flash, and even gets the second onto Mr. Seed here. Tethered into the back of the site here. 1v3 and the paranoia goes out, but he's still managing to dodge this util, and he gets one more. Fosse, surely you do not pull off the 1v5. This would be absolutely devastating. Juggling all this utility, but finally shut down by the showstopper. How much can you send at one man?
I mean, Fosse just said, no, I'm not dying, and forces the hand on Nemesis. Nemesis really wants to keep that for this round, but I mean, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they get the round. Doesn't matter how you do it. You got the round, and the money on the side of Boba is looking really scary, and RME, they're looking to close this out.
Yeah, I mean, that felt so brutal for Fosse, fighting through so much util and still able to get a lot farther than I think any of us would have expected in those circumstances, but a loss is a loss nonetheless. And so now trying to stave off this map loss, but CeeLo looks to tie the knot here. So she gets two more kills, and it's all these players of ramp forced more up towards heaven. CeeLo manages to get two more, so on for the ace. Prowler sent out and position revealed, and it's gonna be CeeLo stealing it out with an ace. That's definitely gonna be inspiring a lot of confidence for RME going into our third map of Haven.
Yeah, CeeLo just able to find an ace at the end of that. We know she can do this stuff, as she showed a lot of greatness on Lotus and just ended it with a really nice ace. And I mean, that's called recovery right there. RME, they were down in the dirt at the start, and then they were just able to win out this map and just come in clutch.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be trying to pull somebody in here for a post-map interview from RME. Definitely want to pick their brain about how they are feeling after split. I mean, that's a great bounce back from them, honestly. A very hard loss to stomach on Lotus, and to be able to bounce back onto split is, I mean, it's admirable, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to be heading on to Haven, which could go either way. We haven't seen RME there, but we've seen Boba, and it was really close. So I'm really interested to see how Boba's going to be able to come back from this loss, because they had such a good lead going into 7 rounds into the game, and they just threw it to RME.
Yeah, we're just waiting on somebody to hop into the waiting room so we can pull them in for the interview. It looks like we finally got Rudyrojos to talk to about that map on Split. So, Rudy, how you feeling after that map?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Sorry, it took me a minute to load in. What was the question?
How are you feeling after Split? I mean, a devastating loss on Lotus. Your guys' own map pick, losing it. I believe it was 13-4 by the end. How are you feeling mentally going into Split?
Mentally going into Split, we completely reset. We had no thoughts on Lotus. Honestly, we just weren't working together in for the next map, and that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, on Lotus, I noticed that you were trying to go for these plays that just didn't work for you, that you went for on Split, and it feels like everything changed around. So how do you feel when you're going for these plays and they're not working versus when they are working?
When they're not working, I mean, it's to me, it's kind of tough luck. We got to try out new things. New map means different opportunities. That's how we took just winning differently, to be honest.
I want to pick your brain a little bit more in regards to your guys' mental fortitude. In that match on Split, we saw a pretty rough 1v3 to stomach on the side of Boba from the hands of Clays. How were you guys feeling after that round? Because I feel like it would be very easy to sort of feel like the match is slipping away at that point.
At that point, yes, we did have our moment of weakness where a lot of people.
Uh,
RIP.
Robin, you
Oh
Your
shoot!
mic, yeah, you
Sorry.
completely cut out.
Basically, but after that round,
Oh
it's
no.
just trouble all game. Okay.
All right.
one more question for you. Sorry,
yeah,
one
well-
more question. How do you feel going into Haven? I don't know how your practices or whatnot, but we've seen Boba be very confident there. So how do you feel coming into them?
Brother. Brother, we're confident. We're confident going into Haven.
Yeah. Keep the answer short and sweet. I mean, definitely going into Haven, there's a lot of footage to review for Boba. So did you guys spend a little bit of time VOD reviewing their last match of Haven against Honeydew?
I did spend a lot of time VOD reviewing. I did spend a lot of time, yes.
I mean, yeah, definitely a lot that you can learn from a match like that going into, I believe, 5 times over into overtime. So we're going to go ahead and let you hop back to your team so you guys can get ready for that match. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so we're going to be once again throwing it to a quick break as we get ourselves ready for Haven, and we'll be right back.